everyone, welcome back to Gracie May's Tarot. So today we have a future spouse reading. We're going to be finding out what is the current energetic status between your future spouse and yourself. So we'll be shuffling your tarot on camera and then we'll be using pre-pulled oracle cards, but I'll use one deck to represent person A and one deck to represent person B. So one side will be your energy or their energy. You'll know which side is you, and then you'll be able to determine which side is your future spouse. If neither side is resonating, then this reading might not be for you, and that is okay. But we have 3 groups to choose from today. You're going to choose based upon the heart oracle card that you are most drawn to. So we've got pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3 actually got 2 messages. So take a moment, pause the video if you need to meditate on the groups. The timestamps will be listed below in the description box, but we're going to be finding out, especially for those of you who've been into the law of attraction or just setting intentions or just praying about it, wanting your future spouse to come in, you think you're ready, you want to check up and see how the manifestation is going. This reading will be perfect for you, but it also will just help you find a baseline, is there more healing that you need to do? Are you good? Is it something on their end that's holding up this connection from, coming into fruition in the 3D? We'll be finding all that out. But yeah, I'll see you guys in your reading. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So if you skip the intro, I do recommend you going and watching it. It's pretty short, just so you understand the format of the reading, but otherwise I'm going to get into it. I did forget to mention that we'll be getting months of the year for when you could be meeting your future spouse. We'll do that at the end of the reading. But let's find out first person A's energy here. Person A, are they attracting their future spouse? Currently, person A, please spirit for pile 1. Are they attracting their future spouse currently? Person A. I think we'll get 3 tarot cards. We'll see. Person A. Are they attracting their future spouse currently? Person A. We've got the World. Person A. I've got the 9 of Cups. Honestly, might cut out some of this shuffling because it's kind of a lot for 2 different sides. 5 of Pentacles, okay. All right, person B, are they attracting their future spouse currently? Pile 1, what do we need to know? Pile 1. Please, Spirit, is person B attracting their future spouse? Person B. I'm feeling very quiet this morning. I'm sorry, guys. We've got the Hermit. Ace of Swords. 6 of Swords. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. All right, pile 1. I love this spread. I really do. This is wonderful. So for person A, we have 5 of Pentacles, we have the World, and we have the 9 of Cups. I feel like person A is really doing their best, trying their best to look at the glass half full, they are trying to be optimistic and hopeful about their future, not only in terms of their love life, but just across the board. They are doing their best to keep their faith, keep their hope alive. Even if they're not really a spiritual person necessarily, they're just trying to approach life in a happy-go-lucky sort of way, They're trying to see all possibilities with the World card. They're trying to be open. They're trying to be receptive. They're trying to believe that wishes can come true, that you can achieve your dreams, that miracles do happen. I feel like they've had a lot of hardship, a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties and disappointments in their life. They've been out in the cold, they've been on their own, they've had people betray them, they've had people let them down, they've had to rely upon themselves. You know, they had people in their life who were in a position to help them and chose not to. I feel like I feel like pile one for person A, they're such a kind-hearted, giving, loving person, and I don't feel like that has necessarily always been reciprocated in the relationships in their lives. Oh, hold on. I have to feed the stray kitty cat outside. I'm so sorry, pile one. I'm so sorry about that, pile one. But yes, as I was saying, for person A, I feel like they're so kind-hearted, and I don't feel like that's always been reciprocated. And so I definitely feel like they probably had to work on setting healthy boundaries, maybe disconnecting, severing some ties with unhealthy connections in their life. I feel like they've had to really prioritize their self-respect, and they've had to sort of work on their discernment and their judgment about who they can trust and who they can rely upon, but also develop sort of self-resiliency. Honestly, to a degree that's not even really fair to person A. Like, I don't think they should have to, no one should have to take care of themselves and not have a support system the way that they've had to, especially given how much they give to others. So yeah, I feel like person A is in a really great empowered state. I feel like they're coming into their own, and yeah, I would definitely say person A is attracting their future spouse. They're attracting the sort of love that they deserve. Now, with person B, we have the Hermit, we have Ace of Swords, and we have the Six of Swords. I like this energy as well. With the Six of Swords, this talks about moving in a better direction, moving away from something that wasn't serving you. I feel like with the Ace of Swords here, there's been this moment of clarity. You know, the Hermit talks about deep self-reflection, a very spiritual journey, and it's a journey that you go on your own. So you see how there's some mirroring here between person A and person B. Like, person B has had to go on their own, person A has had to go it on their own as well. Oh, I'm so happy the orange kitty cat came back. There's the food out there. Oh, go eat, little fella. All right, sorry about that. So for person B, yeah, I do feel like there's some mirroring here. I think the journey's different. You know, the Hermit card is definitely a different energy than the Five of Pentacles. I feel like this was sort of chosen. You know, like this person decided to withdraw, retreat. This person, I feel like, was pushed out into the cold. You know, so there's a different energy here, but what it looks like, it ends up looking like kind of the same thing though. And that this person's on their own. They're doing some deep self-reflection, some deep healing, growth. All of that is happening. And they have this epiphany moment. And when they have that sort of aha moment of like, this is where I need to go, this is what I need to do now, they start actually moving. You know, this is like very mental self-reflection, deep thinking. This is action. So they're moving from that place of deep personal self-reflection and, you know, really sort of taking stock of their life and what needs to change, and then they're actually doing it. They're actually going on that path towards change. So yeah, I think this is very positive in terms of, is there movement here energetically, like towards one another? I think it's a definite yes. All right, let's look at your oracle now, pile one. So we have free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. We have past life relationship. Your souls know each other from previous lifetimes, and you have been with this person together before. There is an instant attraction and recognition on a soul level. And it says, I had the feeling that I've known you. Actually, I felt like you knew me. And then we have quality time. Spending more time together and doing things that you enjoy is important now. If you are single, this card tells you to spend more time with friends. This card also highlights parties and a good time. And then we have balance. Yes, the mirroring, the yin and the yang. Like, I definitely feel like, given that you have the balance card here and past life relationship, there's probably already a spiritual connection between you two. I think you guys could probably communicate with this person if you wanted to right now, just by like dreams or praying or talking out loud or saying like my future spouse's higher self, you know, or if you wanted to work with the cards yourself. Anything like that, I feel like you guys could send messages and signs to each other even now, even if you haven't met in the 3D, because it feels like your higher selves are already connected, you already know each other. This hints again at like past life connections, you've been together before. When you meet this person in the 3D, there's going to be a sense of shared history, even if you haven't known each other, you know, in this lifetime. In past reincarnations you have. And so it's going to feel like this immediate soul level recognition, right? But there's still going to be a process of getting to know each other, right? And so I feel like this is saying a couple different things with this quality time card. One, your connection could develop slowly over time, even though there's this instant soul level attraction and recognition of each other. I do feel like because you guys are both so mature and you've been on this really self-growth, you know, understanding of self kind of journey, I think both of you may be cautious in terms of getting to know each other. I think you're still going to be quite level-headed about it. I feel like you're still going to build that soul level foundation together. I'm sorry, solid foundation. I meant to say solid foundation and I still said soul level. So there's definitely a connection here between your souls for sure. Now I also feel like this card is signaling that while you're waiting for this person to come in, it would be a good idea for both of you to spend some quality time with friends, you know, focus on your own happiness, your own joy, and you don't have to do too much because it feels like this is written in the stars. It feels like fate. It feels like destiny. It feels like a soul contract kind of thing. So like this is your person. They're not going anywhere. No one else is going to scoop them up and take them away. Like this is your person. So you can take your time with it. Now with this free yourself card, this is interesting. I do feel like if there's any energy in your life currently where you do feel stuck, you feel trapped, you feel stagnant, this is reminding me of the Eight of Swords. Like you have the ability to step out of that prison, to step over this gate anytime you want to. You know, this is a self-imposed prison. So like you are a unicorn here. So this actually could be talking about this side. So if there's any sort of area where you feel stuck or stagnant, know that you do have the power to get yourself out of that, and that could be the one last remaining hurdle that's preventing this connection from coming into union. So this could be the one area I feel like you guys, and given that we have balance here, this could be something that's happening on both sides of the connection. But yeah, that could be like the one thing that's keeping you guys from coming into union. And that can be anything, you know, that could be a job that you're stuck at that you hate, or, you know, or maybe you don't like where you live, you know, things like that. Any, or even some limiting beliefs. This could be all mental as well, you know, like if you have some feeling that you're not good enough, you're not deserving of love, you know, an insecurity that you know you need to work through, that could be signaling that as well. All right, let's get some months of the year for when this connection could come into fruition. Pile 1, when could they be meeting their future spouse? We've got October, we've got July, and we've got January. So feel free to claim one or all of these messages. You know, like you could claim October is when you meet, January is when you become a couple, July is when you move in together. I don't know, like whatever you want to claim, feel free to claim one or all of these months. But yes, now we're going to end your reading, pile 1, with a message from your future spouse's higher self. What do they want you to know at the time of you viewing this reading? It says playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. So this tells me a couple things. Maybe when you meet your future spouse, there is still some residual pain that you're harboring, and maybe it's the same for them too, because we do have this balance card, so you guys really could be mirroring each other in a lot of ways. So maybe you guys help each other heal whatever you need to heal in that sort of last part of, you know, like the healing journey you've been on. And so this would be something that really helps you get into a happier state, is playfulness, laughing together, spending that quality time together. It also could be signaling that spending more times with friends and loved ones, laughing, finding your joy again will help you get out of that sort of self-imposed prison that you've been in, if you were resonating with this energy here. All right, so pile 1, this was your reading. I'm so sorry about the interruption there, but every time I see that cat, I have to run outside and feed it. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you always know when I upload. The easiest way to support the channel is to simply watch the ads. Thank you guys so much for letting me do this reading for you, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Take care, pile 1. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So if you skip the intro, I do recommend watching it just so you understand the format, the layout of this video. I did forget to mention that we'll be getting months of the year for when you could be meeting your future spouse at the end of your reading. So let's get started. Person A, are they attracting their future spouse currently? What is the energetic status of the connection on their end? Pile 2, person A, are they attracting their future spouse currently, please Spirit? What do we need to know? I may cut out a little bit of the shuffling if yours takes as long as pile 1 did, because I do want this to be a shorter reading. We've got 7 of Wands. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. Sometimes the way the cards come out, I don't know what it is, but it just makes me laugh. Like there's something about the energy of certain cards when they come out. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like they're like winking at you, like, yeah, I'm coming through. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know, certain cards come out and they have a certain energy to them. And I don't know, their energy is a little bit stronger. It's hard to explain. Kind of like, did you miss me, old friends? Like, you know what I'm about. I don't know. So, person B, pile 2, are they attracting their future spouse? Person B, pile 2, are they attracting their future spouse? What do we need to know, please, Spirit? Oh, wow. That just came out all at one time. I love this. Okay. So for person A here, we have the 7 of Wands, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. So, person A is like deep in the trenches trying to improve themselves. Like person A is really taking stock of multiple areas of their life, and they are really doing their best to improve their behavior on like a daily basis. Like they're trying to make better choices, they're trying to make healthier choices, they are trying to get their like daily routine together, they're trying to get more structure into their life. And it's almost like person A is someone who is very organized, very detail oriented, very goal oriented, very ambitious, but what they tend to do is they take on too much. They get overwhelmed. They feel guilty about working so hard because they know, like, I think in their head, like they know that they need to take time for rest. So then they take time for rest. Then they feel guilty about resting because they feel like they should be doing more. But then they feel guilty about feeling guilty about resting. Like they get into this whole like thought spiral, and now I kind of feel like I understand why this card was winking at me a little bit, because I understand personally this energy and I resonate with it. person A is like quite indecisive about like what they should be doing, and they're trying their best to achieve a balance in their life between work and play, work and rest, and trying to have more fun in their life, but then they're also trying to achieve so much all at one time. And so they want their cake and they're trying to eat it too, and it's a lot. And so it's not that they're not focused on love, it's not that they're not focused on finding a long-term partner or anything like that. It's just that when you're trying to do so much at once, of course your attention is going to be scattered. Of course your focus is going to be all over the place. And you know, they're really trying to make a lot of new changes in their life, but I think it would benefit them to prioritize some of this stuff and not bite off more than they can chew. And they just overestimate how much they can get done in a single day, and a lot of that comes from this need to achieve and this need for external validation and this need to feel successful. And where is their enjoyment of life in that? Where is their happiness in all of that? And so it reminds me of that audio. It's the, what's her name? Is her name Esther Hicks? It's that audio where she says like, well, what are you doing? What are you working on? You know, when I die, I want them to say I was a happy one. You know, one of those law of attraction kind of audios. It's a clip that I see like going around. But anyway, you guys might not have any idea of what I'm talking about. Others of you are like, yes, I absolutely know the audio that you're talking about. But yes, I think that that's what they need to work on, is following their joy, following their happiness, and sort of finding that balance. And it's something that they're working on. It just feels like at the moment they're struggling with it. But I do think that when they come into that moment of balance, when they finally achieve that, that is when they will be able to call in their future spouse. For person A, because you can't be all work and no play and no rest and expect to find love that way. You know, like your head is to the grindstone so much. Yeah, where, like, even if they met their future spouse, like, where would they fit in? Like, given their current schedule, like, they have to carve out space for a connection to come in. That's really where it's at. Now, with person B, all three of these cards came out at the same time, and it really felt right. We have the Hanged Man, we have the Fool, and we have the Star. I feel like this person is a lot more prepared and ready for the connection. This person has had a whole new lease on life. They've completely changed their perspective. They're open, they're optimistic, they're ready to take a leap of faith. They are completely keyed into like law of attraction, like they've wished upon a star, they've set the intention. This does feel like a spiritual group here for person B. It really does feel like they have all their ducks in a row, like they're open, they're ready, you know, there's nothing holding them back anymore, you know, like arms wide open. In every single card, arms are wide open, like they're ready to receive this blessing of this connection. There's not a whole lot to say with person B because they're just ready. So if you're resonating with person A, this is really on you. If you're resonating with person B, know that you're doing everything right. Keep doing what you're doing. It's really on person A at this point. Okay, let's get into the oracle. We have self-love. We have flexible. You may have someone in mind, but your spirit guides want you to know that there are better options for you. This card also pertains to releasing any unrealistic expectations on a relationship or a person. We have one more try. I still love you. Give your relationship another chance. This card is a sign that a connection is not over and that both parties still have a path to go on together. It is worth fighting for this love. And we have religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Okay, So I actually want to address this religious factors card first. I do feel like this is person B's energy coming forward. Like person B is really on their spiritual path. They're doing everything that they can possibly do to call in this connection. And they're the ones sort of driving this right now, because it feels like person A, like I said, their energy is too scattered. And so it could be that person A needs to connect more with spirituality in some degree or fashion to sort of catch up to where person B is, because person B is really in this elevated state. Like it feels like they're really connected with their higher self, and it feels like they're quite I don't know, it just feels like they're walking in their faith, they're walking in their hope, they're walking in their belief, and it's really helping them quite a bit. And this could also signal that, you know, this energy here is quite grounded. This energy on this side for person B is quite spiritual. And so that could be a little bit of a disconnect here between you two, in the sense that one of you may have, well, person B really has more faith and belief in like true love and soulmates and things like that. Whereas maybe person A has some, you know, maybe a more cynical attitude, and that's something that they need to have a perspective shift on that. That could also be something that is a difference between you two when you come into union. And maybe if you're person B, you share that spiritual side with person A. Now, if you're resonating with person A's energy, and you're watching a tarot card reading, and you're like, I'm spiritual. It could be that maybe you're going through a difficult time in your spiritual path, and that happens sometimes, right? And so this is just a reminder for you, a sort of a nudge to reconnect with your spiritual path, because that's going to help bring this into union here. Now with this self-love card, I feel like this is a direct message, honestly, for person A, because if they didn't feel that pressure, that need for that external validation, they would be able to get out of that Seven of Wands. They would have more balance in their life, and they wouldn't always feel like they're not good enough, like they're just a beginner. Like they would be able to come into their own and see themselves more as a king or a queen as opposed to a page. And so there's just need for more self-love, and for that idea of being good enough or being worthy is inherent. You know, as a human being, they are deserving and worthy of love. They don't have to prove themselves. They are good enough all on their own. And so if they had that understanding, you know, they wouldn't be taking on so much, too much all at once. I do feel like with this flexible card here, the unrealistic expectations for person A are expectations they put upon themselves. And so they need to be more flexible, you know, with the way that they treat themselves. You know, if they need a day of rest, give themselves a day of rest, you know, understanding that they're not always going to be able to operate at 100% capacity. Sometimes they can only give 50%, and that 50% is their best, and that's all right, you know. This could also signal, for those of you who feel like you know your future spouse, maybe some of you have placed some unrealistic expectations on how fast the connection should be moving, or maybe you're just too hard on yourself. Maybe you don't feel like you're good enough for this person, or they feel that way about you. And it could also signal that, you know, you guys need to put in some work and try it again. You know, someone is neglecting the connection and needs to be more flexible and put in some effort into the connection, instead of, you know, spreading themselves too thin by trying to focus on too many things at one time. So just take what resonates. And like I said, if you're resonating with person B's energy, just know that you're doing everything right, and that this really isn't in your hands at this point. And I know that can be like, on one hand, it's nice to know that you're doing everything right. On the other hand, it can be kind of frustrating to know that you're not the one holding the connection up, it's your future spouse. But I would say, like, extend some compassion, you know, be patient. You know, there was part of the journey maybe where you were holding it up and they were doing everything right, you know? So these things can fluctuate. So give them the space that they need to work on themselves, and know that your marriage will have a much higher chance of being successful and having longevity if you guys are both ready for it. Okay, so again, this card right here isn't going to apply to everyone, so if it's not your message, feel free to leave it. I do think there's a reason why I got 2 cards from this deck instead of just 1. Okay, so let's get your months of the year for when you could be potentially coming into union with your future spouse. Now, for those of you who do resonate with this card and you feel like you already know your future spouse, this could be when you guys reconcile. So pile 2, we've got September, February, and we have November. So feel free to claim one or all of these months. You know, they could represent different stages, like when you meet them, when you start dating, when you move in together, or it could just, you know, maybe February is really calling out to you and you can feel free to claim that month. Like I said, whatever resonates, take it. Whatever doesn't, leave it. Okay, so this is a message from your future spouse's higher self. What do they want you to know at the time of you viewing this reading? We have passion. A magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. I do honestly think for most of you watching, you're probably person B given this message, because just the magnetic quality of it, like it feels like you are being quite attractive right now and you are ready to receive this connection. You know, there's nothing about you that's not currently attractive. For others of you who did resonate with person A's energy, this could just be a reminder from your future spouse, like, you are attractive, you know, you are desirable, you are good enough, you don't have to work so hard to prove yourself, you are good enough for me. So just however this message is calling out to you, feel free to claim it. All right, pile 2, this was your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you all the clarity that you needed. Any questions you had, I hope it answered them. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you always know when I upload. The easiest way to support the channel is to simply watch the ads. Thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting the channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Take care, pile 2. Hi pile 3, last but not least, welcome to your reading. Now I will say, if you skipped the intro, this is a video that I would recommend watching the intro for, just so you understand the format. I did forget to mention though that we will be looking at months of the year at the end of your reading to determine when you could be coming into union with your future spouse. But let's get started. Person A, please Spirit, are they attracting their future spouse currently? Person A, are they attracting their future spouse currently? What do we need to know, please Spirit? Person A. And if it takes a long time for the shuffling, I may cut out a little bit of it. Pile 2 was pretty fast, but it felt like pile 3 was a little, pile 1 was slow, pile 2 was fast, so we'll see about you guys. Person A, pile 3. Oh wow, that 9 of Swords just was like, shoop. Pile 3, pile 3. 8 of Pentacles, okay. Just making sure you guys can see that. All right, person B, are they attracting their future spouse currently? Whoa. Person B, are they attracting their future spouse currently? Person B, please Spirit, what do we need to know? That's funny. Sorry, I said that's funny because we have the King of Pentacles twice. 8 of Cups. So for person A here, we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. I would just also like to point out we have an 8 here, and we have an 8 for person B as well, but we'll get into person B's energy in just a second. So for person A, it feels like they are completely and totally throwing themselves into their work right now. With the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords being next to each other, and just the fact that we have the King of Pentacles, this is grounded, earthy energy. This is, I'm focused on everything in the earthly realms. And the Eight of Pentacles talks about someone who is at an expert level in their business. They've been doing it for quite some time. So whatever person A does for a career, they're really good at it, they're well known for it, and they've gotten into kind of like a steady, successful place in their career. They're not growing necessarily, but they're at such a high level. Again, they're at that expert level, like they're well known for what they do. There's no sort of ups and downs in their career. Like, you know, they're at like a successful plateau. They've reached sort of the pinnacle of like what they can achieve, and they just keep going. They keep following that formula. They keep repeating that same success over and over again. But it feels like with the Nine of Swords here, there is something that's making them sad. There is something that's keeping them up at night, something that's making them anxious. It surely isn't their career, because they're doing quite well in that area. They're doing great financially. So given the nature of this reading, we have to think this is romantic, right? So for person A, it feels like they've encountered some sort of heartbreak, some sort of disappointment in love, and they're trying to rebuild their life, but they're doing it in a way where they're just like, well, I'm going to throw everything into my career. I'm just going to focus on that. And, you know, I'll cry about this at night or whatever. And, you know, I'm just going to keep my nose to the grindstone, and I'm going to focus on my work because that's what I'm good at. And that's what, you know, makes me feel confident and good about myself. And yeah, like they're not focused on love at all. You know, they're just really trying to focus on their work and distract themselves from this heartbreak, from this disappointment. Now, person B, on the other hand, person B is calling in. So I think person A is the King of Pentacles. Person B is not also the King of Pentacles. Person B is wishing upon a star for a King of Pentacles figure. And so person B is calling in person A. Person B is saying, I want someone who is reliable, someone who is successful, someone who is loyal, someone I can depend upon, someone who is a mature adult, someone who has their priorities in line, someone who, you know, is really sort of really mature is the word that keeps coming up again and again for person B. Like, they want someone who is going to be reliable, you know, someone who's practical, someone who makes them feel safe and secure. And so this would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy as well, I should say that. But yeah, person B is wishing upon a star. They are trying to manifest this person. They're trying to bring them in. They're trying to have hope and faith that someone like this could, you know, be a potential partner for them. And with the Eight of Cups, they've had to do their own healing. They've had their own heartbreak. They've had things that they've had to walk away from. You know, they're tired of settling. They're tired of accepting breadcrumbs from people. And they're like, this is the kind of partner that I deserve. And it makes me think person B has dealt with people who were immature, people who were childish in some way, people who were unreliable, flaky, dishonest, people who were spacey, just, you know, wouldn't show up for them. You know, people who are not dependable in any kind of way. And so they want someone who makes them feel safe and secure and grounded. And yeah, so they're calling in this divine masculine energy, this King of Pentacles. And they may still be in the process of walking away from what doesn't serve them, but they at least know what they need to walk away from if they haven't done it already. So it feels like person B is more in alignment with the connection than person A, but person A just kind of feels like they're healing, you know, like they're just hurt. Okay, let's get into the oracle now. And you guys did get more love story cards than the other two groups. We've got open up, we've got respect, we've got healing, we have you deserve love, you are lovable, and then you also got more creative love oracle cards as well. I actually want to start with these cards first though. So with this open up and this closed door, I feel like this is a message to person A. Like they are pretty closed off, you know, like they've been hurt with the Nine of Swords. They've really had their heart broken. They felt quite anxious, and so they're closed off emotionally. You know, the King of Pentacles isn't necessarily the most emotionally vulnerable, right? Like they're not like the King of Cups, and so there could be a little bit of a process there for them to feel like they can open up to person B. With that healing, that's absolutely talking about person A needing to heal this wound, needing to heal this heartbreak. And it feels like person A was quite disrespected in their last partnership, and so that's something that I think person A and person B will bond together on, is like this need for mutual respect, you know, wanting someone they can rely upon, wanting someone they can feel safe and secure with. I feel like person B wants someone who's going to show up for them, you know, in a real grounded way. Like, you know, if you were sick, they want someone who would bring them soup. You know, they want someone who would take care of them. Person A is wanting someone who respects them in the sense that they can feel safe to be emotionally vulnerable, and they're not going to be judged for it. They're not going to be laughed at. They're not going to be mocked for it. They're not going to have it thrown in their face at a later time. You know, I feel like that's something they dealt with a lot in their past relationship. So I feel like respect is really going to ground and sort of be the main theme of this connection when you come into union, is that's the bedrock, is that there is a lot of mutual respect for one another. With this, you deserve love, you are lovable. I feel like that's a message for both of you, especially for person A, but I think for person B as well, because we have the 8 of Cups. So understanding like you deserve the full 10 of Cups, like you deserve everything that you're wanting. You deserve a King of Pentacles. And for person A, who is the King of Pentacles, understanding that you deserve better than the 9 of Swords. Like you have more to offer than your money. You know, you have more to offer than just that. And understanding that you deserve love. You are good enough. Okay, so then we have influencing factors. There are influencing factors at play regarding your love life. Money issues can play a role, as well as a career change in foreign countries and cultures. So this could mean a lot of different things. You know, maybe you two are living in different countries. Maybe you're from a different cultural background. Maybe there's a difference in your financial status. Maybe one of you is stuck somewhere because financially you can't afford to leave, you know, whether that's a housing situation or, you know, a dead-end job, but it does pay the rent, you know, something like that. And there needs to be some kind of change, and sort of the puzzle pieces need to be rearranged for this union to come into fruition. And that's something that is outside of you, something that's external that needs to change. So it's not necessarily just inner work, it's something external that needs to change, you know, before this comes into fruition. And so this is more so in the realm of like your spirit guides and them helping you and guiding you on the right path, more so than something you need to do internally. I do feel like this is a message for person B, I will say that. And then we have home and family. There might be some changes coming up regarding your current home situation. A relocation could also be possible. This card also stands for starting a family together. I can definitely see this being a priority given that we have the King of Pentacles here. Like home and family is going to be very important in your marriage. But I will also say, given that we have these two cards together, it does feel like maybe one of you has to move to be with the other person. So again, like this could start off as a long distance relationship. Maybe you guys meet each other when one of you is traveling, something like that. But maybe for person B, they have to literally move before they meet person A. Okay. And then we have honeymoon. This card stands for the pure energy of romance, affection, and bliss. You will soon experience these energies no matter if you're single or in a long-term relationship. This to me feels like maybe this union isn't too far off. Okay, with the honeymoon card, like maybe you feel like you're in a storm right now, but like the rainbow is coming, the light at the end of the tunnel is coming. So it feels like maybe you guys have been healing for quite some time. Maybe this didn't just recently happen, but it does feel like, it feels like there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, but it does feel like it's coming together, if that makes sense. Okay, let's get some months of the year now. That will clear things up. But it does feel like this is quite soon. And I think it's also quite soon just given the amount of oracle cards that you all got. Like, your spirit guides had a lot to say about this connection. So pile 3, when could they be coming into union with their future spouse? When could they be coming into union with the future spouse? Yeah, you just got 3 cards that just came out. I don't know whether I should take these or not. I'm going to put them back. But if you want to claim April, March, or November, feel free to do so. Honestly, with the way the deck is behaving, it feels like you have a lot of opportunities to meet each other. As I say that, 2 more cards flew out. Yeah, it feels like you guys have a lot of opportunities to meet each other. We have December, September, and June. So yes, I feel like that's confirming this union isn't too far off, or there are just a lot of opportunities for you to come into union. So if you miss one chance, the universe will set up another opportunity for you guys to meet, if you feel like you don't already know this person. All right, so pile 3, we are going to end your reading with 2 cards from your future spouse's higher self. You also got an additional oracle card. The other 2 groups only got 1 message. Oh, I forgot to say, feel free to claim one or all of these messages. You can also claim different months for different things. Like if you want to claim you meet them in September, but you become like romantic partners in December, or you meet in September but you move to be with them in December. I don't know, like whatever you want to claim, feel free to claim. All right, so we have look inside yourself, examine what is causing you to feel this way. I feel like for those of you who feel like you're in the process of healing right now, this would be very helpful for that. Look inside yourself and find out like what is causing you to feel this 9 of Swords energy, and how can you reconcile that? How can you move past it, release it, and let it go? And then we have a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. So this could be a message for those of you who already feel like you know this person. This could also just be a message that, you know, your future spouse's higher self is already talking to your higher self. Your souls are already in communication. And even though you guys haven't met in the 3D yet, you can still talk to this person. You can still send each other signs if you want to. You can still connect with them and feel their love at any moment in time that you want to. Just by looking inside yourself, you know, meditating, you can feel this person's love and their warmth for you, even though you are currently apart. So you could combine these messages together in that manner. Okay, pile 3, this was your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you the clarity that you needed. Thank you for letting me do this for you. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you always know when I upload. The easiest way to support the channel is to simply watch the ads. Thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting the channel thus far, and I will see you guys in my next one. Take care, Pile 3. Hey, Muffin. Look at those claws. See, I was just helping my mommy film. Yeah, you're supervising. Look at that belly. She say hi. I love you, Poochie. This is Miss Gracie, for those of you who don't know. Hey, Muffin. You just want to sleep.